Well, you ready for your first harvest?
Hey, I'm ready for it. Let's see if we can hang in there.
All right. Well, let's go get a spot for the truck cut out and see if we get everything calibrated. You ready too?
Do you want my help or no?
All right. If you want to.
Because remember, I'm just half an employee.
Well, if you don't help, you're not even that.
1.5 employees. I'm just a half. I don't know what half I am yet, but I'm a half.
The half.
I think I'll withhold any comments. I don't know about y'all. I'm pretty excited. I want to see what this old wheat crop's going to do. Luckily, we got a real short commute to our first farm right here. All right, let's kick everything on and pray nothing flies apart. Oh yeah.
He's not even cutting anything yet and it's already dusty. Man.
All right, here we go.
This is the best part. Ding, 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 ding. Man, say goodbye to the pretty wheat. That's the first cut of the year for the Griggs Farm LLC.
All right, we cut us a pretty good sample, so we're gonna take us a moisture reading. Reading a little high on my monitor from what I was expecting. Of course, around the edges, it might still be just a hair green. Wheat is number 3. Woo, 20.8. I wasn't expecting that high. $18.6. All right, we took quite a few samples and the average was around 18%, not 16.4. All right, so our moisture test was calibrated, and now we're going to run through a few yield calibrations to get our yield monitor done and check back in with you then. First bit of wheat going in the buggy. And this wheat right here should be some super high quality wheat because we haven't really gotten much meaningful rainfall on it since it's been ripe. So that's a big enemy on wheat quality is rainfall once it's ready to cut, and hadn't got much on there. And normally I'd put at that moisture, I'd probably let it dry down another couple of days, but today's Thursday, Saturday night and Sunday we got like a 70% chance of rain. Don't really know how much, but you know, I'm tempted to keep on cutting it even though it's a little wet, drying it down in the bin just to try and preserve some of that quality and the weight to it. So I don't know, we're gonna cut a little bit more to see if it dries up a little bit towards the middle of the field once we get away from the outside and make a decision from there.
All right, well, we got it parked. We got a nice little spot cut out. And Matt is starting on the end rows over there, and I believe we just started our wheat harvest for the year. It's pretty without the wheat, but the wheat is way prettier than this. Ready for a long, hot wheat harvest in the middle of June, and yeah, let's go. And now I'm off on our super long journey of about 400 yards to grab the buggy, and well, I don't know if Carter's already in the buggy or not, but I've got to grab either the buggy or my truck right here. So since our walk is super long, I grabbed me a nice little snack. All we gotta do now is grab the tractor and the buggy or the truck and trailer, and try not to get hit by other combines and sprayers, because it's season. We're about to get hit now.
All right, we run through our calibrations. Now we got everything kind of slicked up in the combine, grain flowing good. We're going to check our losses here. In order to do that, we're going to perform a kill stall on the combine where we stop it suddenly mid-threshing so we can examine the inside of the combine and see exactly where the grain's at. So we got her loaded up good. We're about to stomp on the brakes and pull the throttle and cut the key. And what that does is this suddenly stops the combine, the rotor, everything on the sieves, stops it midstream so we can get back there, see how far grain is back in the threshing and the separating system. And that way it helps us diagnose if we find any losses on the ground. It helps us diagnose exactly what we need to adjust on the combine. All right, see how it stopped everything midstream? We'll check on the spinners, see if we find any grain on the spinners. We see a little bit there, but not much at all, not considering what's going through the combine, so I'm really not expecting to see much on the ground. Hey, you got a square foot cleared off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'll have to look in the book and see what a bushel per acre is, but that's about average. That's not much loss at all. Well, let's inspect it inside the combine here. All right, looking there inside the combine, you see we got a pretty even mat. It's a little heavier on the left side. Let's inspect this right here and see how much grain's in here. I might adjust the offset on my seat slightly this way to try and shift some of this material over to this side. All right, looks like my rotor didn't stop fast enough. It cleared it out, so it's hard to tell if anything's reaching back here or not. When that rotor's spinning 1,000 RPM, it's got a lot of inertia built up, and it's hard to stop it right there on the dime. But you see right here, you know, all this material's a little bit higher on this side than it is over here. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the way the combine set. We might have to do a little bit more tweaking, but I think it's set pretty darn close. Let me get up there and check my book. All right, according to my book here, wheat, a uniform spread loss of 19.2 seeds per square foot equals 1 bushel. So we're definitely below 1 bushel, probably about what, 2/3, 70% of a bushel. So that's about as good as you're going to get on a combine. And considering, you know, this straw is still just a hair green, just a hair damp, you know, those losses are only going to improve as it continues to dry down. So I think we got it set pretty good, and we're ready to blow and go.
View from inside the tractor is a first full buggy load waiting to get dumped into the truck. Successful. Well, look at that. That's a pretty decent looking wheat. It's still just a little sticky. I don't have a moisture tester in my truck with me yet. I'm waiting on one, but I mean it's fairly dry. Everything's dry. This is the first field we planted, so it's gonna be the driest.
All right, we got a truckload cut, so I'm gonna run in there to the shop with Andy, show him how to unload the grain bins and make sure everything is flowing and dumping right, make sure we don't have any problems. All right, when dumping in here, again, keep it 40 amps or below. Now that we replaced all the paddles, I mean, it should take everything, it'll, as fast as it'll flow it in there and keep it below 40 amps. Should, but first load just kind of pace it. I mean, it should pile up there in the dump pit and the loop will take it with it. Yeah. So,
See how good these.
we'll just dump just a little bit in there. Make sure it's falling in bin 2, make sure there's not a bird's nest clogging it, and the spinner is spreading up there and everything.
Make sure everything's right before we dump the full load.
All right, just pull that panel down and see what it does. It's raining, not the kind of raining I wanted today. I don't know, from here that looks like a big old bird's nest in there, don't it?
Yeah, they tried to make one, but there's a lot of corn. There's a lot of corn in there.
All right, let's rake all that out. Oh, there's some nastiness in there. You said bird's nest over there. You found some more grain bin goodness, didn't you? You found some more grain bin goodness, didn't you?
Oh yeah. Smells just as good as the first time.
After that debacle with the grain system yesterday, we just went ahead and called it a day. Carter had a game, so went to that. But anyway, We got a little bit of wheat cut, probably about, I don't know, probably a little less than 10 acres yesterday. So we're gonna go ahead and get Kelly loaded up, get her started planting right behind me, because we got weather moving in and it ain't looking good. So we want to try and get as much of this ground covered as possible. But I'll talk more about that in the combine. But right now, just getting this thing completely changed over to soybeans. Got to get it filled up. Got to get these markers run in for narrow rows. Just pick up on me in there. There. What the heck? There we go. Just trying to get the planter and stuff set for Kelly. And right now there are no good settings for the planter. It is dry out here. It's even drier than it was last week harvest when we were at the beginning stages of a drought. It is dry. I mean, there's no planting into moisture. I don't care how deep I set the planter, there's no planting into moisture. Using a ton of downforce to get that seed in the ground. So this rain that's coming in, actually not going to be good for the wheat crop. Definitely going to be beneficial for all our other crops and for planting our double crop beans. But anyway, I got it set where they're planting about 1 inch deep, because like I said, there's no reaching moisture, so we don't want to plant them too deep, then get a hard pounding rain and seal it over. So we're planting them normal depth into powder, and then hopefully with this rain coming in, they'll come on up pretty good. Well, we was able to get a pretty early start this morning. Didn't have to do any servicing because we only cut about 13 acres yesterday and wasn't any dew this morning. So we get an early start. We're gonna try and get through this wheat harvest just as quickly as we can. Several reasons. Our crop spraying, especially with the cotton, is kind of out of its normal cycle due to all the replant, and now a lot of our cotton crop is delayed. So might have to do some spraying for thrips here next week. You know, our herbicides post-emerge has not been done in a timely order on all of it. So normally we like to have that stuff laid by for a couple weeks when we start wheat, and anyway, that's not the case this year. Number two, we got a weather system coming in this weekend. Like I said, 80-90% chance of rain Sunday night into Monday. You know, up to 1.5 inches of rain, which we need the rain. It's getting dry. Our corn's definitely needing it. Our corn's growing rapidly. A lot of the corn around here starting to twist up, especially some of that earlier planted corn and you know, conventionally tilled corn. It's starting to twist up some. Mine's still looking okay. But you remember from last year about this time, that's when the drought started, and we didn't get any rain whatsoever for like 45 days. This year's kind of repeating the same pattern, just coming in just a little bit earlier. So if we can get 1.5 inches of rain, we really need it. Be good for our corn crop, be good for our other soybean crops, be real good for these double crop soybeans that were planted on getting them up to a good emergence. But it's not going to be good for the wheat crop. A mature wheat field is about one of the most sensitive crops to rainfall whenever it's ripe and ready to cut, as far as causing issues with grain quality, yield loss. You know, we get a rainy spell, we can potentially see the seed starting to sprout, which leads to big discounts at the elevator. It doesn't take much rain at all for the wheat to start losing weight. You lose weight, you lose yield. And right now we got a very high quality wheat crop, and you know, it's only going to go downhill from here. So we want to try and get as much of this wheat in the bin before this storm system comes in as we possibly can. Ideally, if we didn't have the storm system coming in, I'd probably wait another couple days to let it dry down, because it's running about 15 to 16.5% moisture for the most part of the field. A few spots a little drier, a few spots definitely a little wetter. Now, I definitely want to get these first two farms done, because they're the ones we have the worst pigweed problems on, and definitely want to get that Valor and Metribuzin that we're going to spray behind the planter. Definitely want to get it incorporated into the ground with a rainfall to hopefully keep these pigweeds from coming up. And then the forecast for next week is not looking good at Going to be pretty cool and got like a 40-50% chance of rain for most days next week, and not looking like good week cut weather whatsoever. So once we get rained out after Saturday, who knows when we'll be able to get back in. And a long wet stretch of weather is about the worst thing that could possibly happen to this wheat crop. So the more acres we get in the bin before this rain, the more money I'll be able to put in my pocket with the less amount of headache.
Well, that's a good sight to see. First thing this morning, we're starting back on the wheat field. We got about, I don't know, 10 acres done yesterday. So we're starting on our first big field today, and that's the first full load on the combine. So Carter's in the grain buggy and he's loading me up today, so we're gonna see how everything rolls and see if I can keep up a little bit.
I've planted a total of maybe 7 acres and I have no GPS signal whatsoever. I have driven around the field, restarted it twice, nothing. So I'm so sad. Oh, I love first day, it's so fun. So now I'm on the 4th time that I've had to stop, completely shut everything down and restart it to get a GPS signal. Matt got in here and nothing. Didn't even work. I mean, it was fine. Just absolutely fine. But no, it's gotta just completely just not give a rat's behind that I want to plant. Oh, technology is stupid. Let's see if it, so it's supposed to be on like 15. It keeps jumping back from 9 to 8, which is how many satellites it's trying to grab. So it keeps losing it. Every time it goes down to 9 to 4, and then it's like a countdown. 15, 9, 4, guess what? You don't have any more signal left. So it's taking me 2 hours to do this. This is really frustrating. See? Made 3 passes. No freaking GPS. So I guess I'm just gonna have to old school and use these markers, or else we're not gonna get anything done. And Matt wants to get this entire field done today. It's already 11:45, and there is no way I'm gonna get these fields done when I have no GPS. So I might as well just use the markers because this is ridiculous. Or he needs to call somebody because out of my hands, out of his hands, something's wrong. It's either a connection between the modem and this guy up here, or just this field hates me. So I don't know. Lovely first day.
Restarted the tractor and then drove around, and it keeps popping from RTK7 to no GPS signal right here.
About 3.7. Now we got Carter back on the grain buggy again this summer. So this is one of his favorite jobs to do. And after an hour or two back in the seat, he's picked up right where he left off last year, not missing a beat at all. For those of y'all who don't know, being a grain buggy driver it's a lot harder than what it looks. I mean, you gotta make sure you stay straight. You don't come too close to the combine because you might run into the header. You got to maintain speed, still watch out for obstacles and everything. It's my responsibility to fill the buggy right, but still, if you got a bad buggy operator that's constantly speeding up and slowing down, it makes my job incredibly difficult. So it's very important to have a good grain buggy driver to maximize productivity and minimize how much I have to watch for, while we're unloading on the go. And Carter does a dang good job. I think last year during fall harvest, when Dylan and Robert were out here cutting some soybeans for us, I think Carter drove the grain buggy a little bit thin, And I'm pretty sure Dylan offered him a job on the spot when he wasn't running the grain buggy for me. So if we get done with wheat harvest earlier than Dylan, might just tell Dylan that Carter's available, help them get finished up.